Yo, annyeonghaseyo. What it do, everyone? Moheyo. Yeah, that's right. We're going back to Korea with this one. Thanks for coming on by. It's your boy, Matt Diazable, coming at you with some new music reviews. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate everyone who watches, or if you're new and you're liking what you see, extra thank you to you. Yeah, I'm continuing. Uh, Shorter version of my reviews because I am running out of time. So sorry if these are too short or too condensed, but I got to get these reviews out before the end of the year so I can make my end of the year list. So let's get right into it. Today, I'm checking out the debut release from a band called Peach Truck Hijackers. Oh, yeah. Now, this band is an all-female garage indie rock band from Seoul, South Korea, and they've been playing like shows around here for about a year or so. I've caught them a couple times, and they've always put on a very high, energetic vibe and like show when I've seen them play. And they have just a really, really distinctive, nostalgic vibe to them when I listen to them. Like it reminds me of the early 2000s, like the music they're putting out here. And so, yeah, I would say the sound and identity of this band is, I would say this record is really, really defined by, the heavy, deep, and distorted bass tone that just, slows and builds up on every song. The bass is the queen of this record. It just sounds really good. And you hear it right away with the first song here, compressed annoyance, that has a bit of a stoner doom metal vibe to it with this very fuzzy low end foundation when it comes to the bass. And that's something you're going to hear throughout this whole album. And if you're into bass playing, you're definitely going to enjoy the tone, the overall mixing of the bass being played here. And what's great is how the riffs, the guitars and everything contrast the bass playing, because the bass playing a little bit lower, but the guitars, they're a little bit more in like the high tuned territory, and they kind of have a sharper feel to them compared to the doom style of the bass. And it kind of really falls into that whole indie garage style of riffs that reminds me of a little bit, I guess, what was that one band? I'm drawing a blank on it right now since I'm doing this all in one take. But they just float above everything, and while the bass just sits down in the low end of everything, doing all the dirty work and sounding really good. And across the album, I would say the mix of 90s alternative like rock attitude, mid 2000s indie garage looseness, and just a little bit of touch of that stoner heaviness, it really makes the album feel very, like I said, nostalgic, eclectic, and very, very distinctive. Tracks like Radio Radio and Rubbish really show how they balance out these different genres and create very catchy and structured songs, but with a little bit of a gritty and uh, not harsh, but they just got a little bit of grit to them with every song they're making here. Vocally and like the personalities that are being presented on this album, the vocals, they're a huge highlight across the whole record. The main vocalist, she's got a very 90s alt rock coolness, especially on the song Compressed Annoyance. And then she kind of flips things into more of a cleaner, tighter melodic delivery with the song Radio Radio, and then gives you a little bit more of a huskier, more urgent style playing with, well, not playing, but singing with the song Rubbish. And you also hear her shift her vocals a little bit into like speaking into like Korean language and everything on the song Twisted. I think it's called Twisted Child. It's called Twisted something. I'm a little bit confused right now with my notes and everything. But honestly, she definitely sounds better in Korean. Of course, it's her native tongue and everything, but she just sounds more confident, more commanding, and just more hypnotic. And it sounds really good. Her English singing and everything is just as good, but the Korean, it hits pretty well. And the production on that particular track is some of the best on this entire album. And what I love about this band is that they're not afraid to switch like vocal styles. Like on the song Wrong Bus Adventure, we get more of a softer, almost dream pop like vocal presentation here, possibly from another member. I don't think it's the main vocalist, but anyway, it gives the album a very nice distinctive and airy feel to it, and switches things up a little bit. In terms of musicianship and how the songs really connect and everything, I would say, again, the bass is probably the most cohesive thing that just brings everything together on this album. It's always deep, it's always kind of fuzzy, and it's always moving. It's always gravitating towards you and just pulls you in with its deep, resonating feel. But the guitars, they also shift in different types of personalities throughout this whole album. Sometimes they feel a little bit like playful and twangy, like on the song "Fuck You," or sometimes they're a little bit low and moody, like on the song "Twisted." Sometimes they're warm and sunny, like on the song "From Your Dead Body," which, with the song title, it's kind of weird how it's a bit of a sunny, more upbeat style with that particular song. And sometimes they go on full on shoegaze style, like on the back half of the song "Two Songs" and the dreamy finale of "Dream Gaze." These songs really embody the shoegaze style with the guitar work here. And the drums, they are still very overall chill, simple, and tasteful throughout the whole album. They keep the pacing really well. She's a really great drummer. She's never too flashy, but she's always in the pocket, I would say. Like, very tight, well-paced drumming. Tracks like "Rubbish" and "What Am I to Do" really sound hypnotic with how the drums are being played here. And the rumbling of I guess the mix and everything from the drums here really kind of make them stick out a little bit more. And I would say certain moments that stand out on this album is that there are some really good, I guess you could say, good identifying moments throughout this whole album. The eerie guitar solo in "Compressed Annoyance" adds a nice spooky edge to everything. And it's already a thick song, but it adds to the whole atmosphere to the song. Radio shows well-balanced catchiness with a very heavy low ending sound. "Fuck You" leans into a more of a punk energy with a simple and raw attitude. "From Your Dead Body" feels like a 90s rom-com soundtrack moment when I was listening to that particular song, with its very impressive guitar work and the vocals. That's what I forgot to say. What really makes them feel very distinctive in that very 90s style vibe to them. She sounds like Alanis Morissette. Like, I won't say it's similar to Ironic, but very, very Alanis Morissette style vocal range and patterns on this particular track. "Two Songs" is literally two songs stitched together, which is very interesting because it has a very chaotic and energetic first half, but then it goes into a very shoegazy, slow motion sadness in the second half. And they do a really good job of dividing up these two songs into one song. It flows very nicely. And then you have the last song, "Dream Gaze," which kind of closes out the album with a very deep bass playing, cozy kind of riffs, and a sadness and acceptance that just perfectly lands overall. And I would say the different genres you get on here, they're blended very nicely and you get some really good vibes. Whether, it is like, and I think also it's all very intentional. It's not like by happenstance. They knew what they were doing when making these songs and this sound. And it mixes, garage rock, indie rock, 90s alternative, shoegaze, stoner like style music, and, some punk with the punk attitude and some dreamy psychedelic moments. So there's a lot to choose from here that you might find. And so the band is really good at finding these textures and keeping things quite consistent with their mood. Warm, gritty, emotional, and distinctively very Korean indie in spirit. So I would say my final thoughts on this latest debut album from Peach Truck Hijackers. It's one album that feels very lived in, has a very fuzzy, emotional, dreamy, and heavy, and overall very real feel to it. The bass tone absolutely dominates in the best possible way on this record. The vocals shift beautifully from English to Korean. She has a very good commanding presence, whether it is English or Korean, even if the Korean is a slightly better style to her because native tongue and everything. And the band has been able to show a lot of variety without ever really losing their core identity, I feel. So if you're really into indie garage music that has a bit of a 90s alt rock appeal to it, then some shoegaze softness and a whole lot of attitude, I would say, this album right here, this debut from Peach Truck Hijackers, is definitely something you want to check out. So this latest release, I would have to give it a good and decent 8 out of 10. Links down below. Tell me what you think about this album. And once again, I'm sorry if I'm going really fast. I'm trying to move through these reviews, trying to do as much as I can because this is a lot of fun, and this is what I want to do as a career, so I'm having a lot of fun. So until next time, guys, see you in the pit.